Well, thank you so much. Wow. What a welcome. Thank you so much. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so very much. What a thrill. Oh, gosh. This is wonderful. Thank you so much. I got to keep coming back here. You guys. Amazing. Thanks so much. Thank you. You know, I don't think I've had a welcome like that in a long, long, long time. That's something. You guys are. It's so great to be in Atlanta and to have your kind of support and enthusiasm. I'm just blown away. I wish Ann were here with me. She'll be here tonight. She's going to be in Atlanta. We're going all over the country. The 5 boys are going their direction. My grandkids are going with their dads. And Ann's going her way. We're going to all get together on Tuesday night. We're getting back at home. We're going to count some votes, and then we'll celebrate. Now, there's some people right here. There's some people right here I owe a lot to, I got to tell you. Congressman Gingrey, who led things off. He's been an extraordinary help to me, and I appreciate his help. Senator Johnson is here, and I appreciate his help as well. Thank you so much. Speaker Burkhalter has also been a friend from the very beginning. Appreciate his help. Now, there's some folks you don't know terribly well. You see a guy up here. He's very well known. His name is Senator Rick Santorum. He's a conservative. I appreciate his help. And there's a guy here you probably won't know by name, but he's a guy who argues before the Supreme Court. He argues conservative causes. His name is Jay Sekulow. He's an attorney and one of our best. Thanks, Jay. I have to tell you, it is so exciting to go across this country. Sometimes if you just read the papers, you get a little discouraged. But when you meet the people of America and you see the heart of the American people, you recognize what a great land this is and why we become such a powerful nation. Because this is a nation full of people who love America and love their families and love their God and are willing to do whatever necessary to have a great nation. And so when people tell you that our future is bleak, don't believe it. Because our people have the kind of heart and the passion and the spirit they need to keep America the greatest nation on earth. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to... But we're going to have to do something first to make sure that happens. You know, we face some extraordinary challenges in our country. And to overcome those challenges, we're going to have Washington get its act together. And I noted when I went across the country over this last year, I'd have town meetings and I'd ask people what were the concerns they had. And we'd start listing those concerns. And after I did it a while, I began to recognize those were the same concerns we've been talking about for decades. And somehow Washington has simply not got the job done. So people said, we're concerned about Social Security. I thought, Social Security, the politicians told us they'd fix that decades ago, but they haven't. And then they told us that they'd balance the budget, but they haven't. And they told us as well that they would find a way to cut pork barrel spending and earmarks, and they haven't. And they told us that they'd live by high ethical standards, and they haven't. And they told us that they'd find a way to get us health care that was affordable and portable, and they haven't. And they told us that they'd stop illegal immigration, and they haven't. And they told us they'd get us off of our dependence on foreign oil. And they haven't. Very simply, it's time for the politicians to go and the citizens to come into Washington. Washington is fundamentally broken, and we're going to fix it. And we're going to fix it by taking a new course in this country. Now, you listen to... if you have to, you listen to Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and And they lay out the course that they would take, and I believe they take their inspiration from the Europe of old. They believe in big brother and big taxes and big government. That's not the course for America. You saw that rally that Barack Obama had. He was up there at a huge sign behind him. It said, change, change. And someone remarked that that's what you'd have left in your pocket if he were president. That's not the right course for America. The right course for America is to take inspiration from what Ronald Reagan taught us, which is first he said, lift the eyes of the American people. After those Jimmy Carter years, you know Jimmy Carter, of course, after those Jimmy Carter years where we spent our time looking at our shoes, we were so embarrassed, with malaise, he called it, Ronald Reagan came along and said, lift your eyes, we're a great and good people, we're the shining city on the hill, we always will be. Ronald Reagan taught us that in order to have the ability to overcome any challenge, that we had to have a policy that would strengthen our country. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You see that? The lights are dimming. It's a sign. You know that? And there we go. It's coming back again. He knew that we'd have to strengthen our families. And to strengthen our families, we need good health care and good schools. And we need to teach our kids enduring values like this one. Like this one. Before you have babies, you get married. Ronald Reagan knew that to keep America safe, we had to have military strength, and so he did something which was very different than what Bill Clinton did. Bill Clinton, of course, he shrunk our military by 500,000 men and women. He took 25% of our Air Force down. He cut our Navy by almost 80 ships. Instead, Ronald Reagan built our military strength. I'd add 100,000 troops. I'd add better funding, and I'd make sure that we took care of our veterans in the way they deserve. Now, so I'd strengthen our families, I'd strengthen our military, and right now I'd strengthen our economy and make sure that we have good jobs. You know, a recent jobs report came out just a couple of days ago saying that for the first time in a long time, America saw a reduction in jobs. A lot of people are concerned about what they're seeing in the stock market and the slide of the dollar. They wonder what our future is going to be. I think at a time like this, when our economy is fragile, it actually would be helpful, again, to have a president who's had a job in the real economy. Thanks, you guys. I will do what it takes. I'll do what it takes to strengthen our economy, to protect our industries and protect good jobs. I know how to do that. I spent 25 years in the private sector. I know why jobs come, and I know why they go. And I'll fight to make sure we keep them here by making sure that as we trade around the world, we do it on a level playing field, that we keep our tax burdens down, that we make sure that we invest in our future by investing in technology and innovation and in our students and our institutions of learning, and also make sure that we make immigration work for us by bringing in legal immigrants that can strengthen our country, but end illegal immigration. Now, I know you've had the chance to watch Senator McCain. He's a good man. He said more than once that the economy is not his strong suit. Well, it's my strong suit. And you know, in some respects, we do face a battle for the heart and soul of the Republican Party. And I heard one of the speakers here, I don't know which one it was, who was taking you through some of the differences between Senator McCain and myself. And I just want to underscore those again. I mean, do we really want to have as the leader of our party and our nominee a person who voted against the Bush tax cuts? No! Do you want to have as our nominee and the leader of our party someone who voted against the amendment to define marriage as a relationship between a man and a woman? No! Do you want to have as our nominee a person who voted to say no to drilling for oil in Anwar? No! Do you want a person as our nominee, somebody who fought for McCain-Feingold, which is this campaign finance bill that took powers away from the First Amendment and hurt our party very badly? No! Do you want as our nominee somebody who fought for McCain-Kennedy, which is an amnesty bill for illegals? No! And how about this latest idea? It's called McCain-Lieberman. It puts a 50-cent per gallon charge on gasoline in our country. It raises utility rates by 20%. Do you want the nominee of our party to be the author of McCain-Lieberman? No! Do you want the author, the leader of our party to be somebody who stands up from Republican principles, who lives in the house that Reagan built, who makes sure that America stays strong and that our future's bright? This is a critical time. This is a critical time, folks. We're going to have a choice. We're going to have a choice tomorrow. And I'll tell you, Georgia is going to have a big voice in this. You may wonder, there are 21 states that are voting on Super Tuesday. I thought it was 22. I was wrong. One went early. Maine went early. They went on you heard that already, didn't you? Maine went early, and we had a real squeaker there. I beat Senator McCain 53-20, and so I'm not likely to do quite that well here, but I'd like to win here, and I want to make sure that you guys go out and vote many times as you can. Get your friends to vote with you. Get out and vote. Make sure that we can stay in the house that Reagan built. This is it's an exciting time. I came to Georgia because I keep on hearing from my friends here that Georgia's going to come my way, that this is real close, but we're going to win this one. Now, you see, Senator McCain, I think this morning is in Massachusetts, which is just fine with me. I got a lot of friends there, and I guess he spent a whole day there. I've been spending my time in, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois, Minnesota, and right here in Georgia where I can get delegates. And so you guys, we're gonna hand the liberals in our party a little surprise on Tuesday evening. When we take California and we take Georgia, we take states across the country, and we get this nomination. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Former Massachusetts Governor, Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney campaigning midday in Atlanta, Georgia. He referred to polls. According to the McClatchy MSNBC poll, John McCain is ahead 33% to Mitt Romney at 27%, with a 4% margin of error. Mitt Romney is now heading to California, and as you look at the polls in that state from the Reuters C-SPAN Zogby poll, Mitt Romney at 40% and John McCain at 32%. This survey with a margin of error of 3.3%, a three-day tracking poll. More on that tomorrow. Ann Kornblut is joining us from the Washington Post here in our studios. And as you look at those numbers, does that explain why Mitt Romney is in Long Beach, California for an event at 8:35 local time?
Oh, absolutely. I think at this stage of the game, the most telling thing isn't necessarily the public polls, which we've all come to doubt over the course of this campaign, but the actual candidate movements. And I think the fact that Romney scheduled this trip back to California, flying across the country at the last minute, tells you everything that you need to know about what they're seeing internally. They would not waste that kind of time, energy, money to fly across the country if they didn't see something that was showing up. And so I think they're mirror images of each other. And if he wins in California tomorrow, I think that is the one thing I think they can do to really stop the McCain momentum that's been going over the last few states.